Today we are making a creamy chicken and wild rice soup. It's actually easier than I thought it would be. It's so warm and cozy. It reminds me of a day at the ski hill. I hope you guys love it as much as I do. So we're going to start with rice first. You can use all wild rice. I'm using a wild rice blend that was heavier on the white rice, but you're going to cook 3/4 of a cup of uncooked rice according to the instructions on the package. Halfway through, however long it's supposed to take your rice to cook, we're going to get out a large pot in which we're going to melt 1 tablespoon of butter over medium heat. And then we're going to add 1 cup of chopped yellow onion, 1 cup of diced carrots, which is about 2 medium carrots, and 1 cup of diced celery, which is approximately 3 ribs of celery. We're going to saute those for about 4 minutes. Then it's time to add some garlic. We're going to add, the recipe calls for 1 large clove of garlic. Add as much garlic as your heart desires. Mince it first, and we're going to saute that for 30 seconds. Then we're going to add in our chicken broth. We need 4.5 cups. The recipe suggests using low sodium chicken broth. That just allows us to control our salt a little bit more. And then we need our herbs. We're going to use 1/4 teaspoon of dried thyme, 1/4 teaspoon of dried marjoram, 1/4 teaspoon of dried sage, and 1/4 teaspoon of dried rosemary, or a fresh teaspoon of each minced. I did not have rosemary, so I used 1/4 teaspoon of Italian seasoning, and it turned out just fine. We're also going to season that with salt and pepper. It's okay if you don't get the salt and pepper perfect, you can always finish it at the end. We're going to increase our heat to medium-high and add our chicken. We're just going to take 1 pound of boneless, skinless chicken breast. I would recommend doubling the chicken. You can always use chicken thighs if you prefer. If you're going to double the chicken, I would consider doubling our spices. And if you're worried about that, maybe just make sure it's adequately salted and peppered at the end of our cooking. We're going to bring our soup to a boil and then cover it, reduce it to medium-low, and allow it to simmer until the chicken is cooked, which will be about 12 to 16 minutes. And if your chicken is not fully submerged, you're going to want to turn your chicken breast over about halfway through. While your chicken is cooking, we're going to create a roux and the cream sauce to make our soup creamy and thicken a little bit. In a medium saucepan, I have my medium saute pan here, we're going to melt 6 tablespoons of butter. We're going to add 1/2 cup of flour and whisk those together for 1.5 to 2 minutes just to cook out that raw flour flavor. And then while we're whisking, you're going to have to forgive me for using a metal whisk on a nonstick pan. We're going to whisk in 1.5 cups of milk and 1/2 cup of heavy cream. We're going to keep cooking this over medium heat, stirring constantly until it thickens. The thickening will happen relatively quickly. Once your chicken is done cooking, we're going to take the chicken out, let it rest for about 5 minutes, and then cut or shred it into bite-sized pieces. We're going to add in our cream sauce. We're going to add back in our shredded or chopped chicken. And we're going to add in that cooked rice. Now, this last ingredient you may not think is a good idea. I would say try it. We're going to add 1 teaspoon of fresh lemon zest. I was a little worried at first, but it really brightens up what is a rich, creamy soup. So if you're not sure, you can absolutely leave it out, or maybe take a little bit of the soup out, put a tiny bit of lemon zest in there and see how you feel about it. And then go ahead and add the lemon zest if you end up liking it. Then your soup is ready to serve. Make sure you give it a taste test, salt and pepper it if it needs to be, and then you're ready to go. I really thought this soup was going to take a lot longer to make, but it only took me, the first time you make it, it might take a couple hours between prep and finish, but something you can absolutely make on a cold winter weekend. Have it with a nice piece of crusty buttered bread. I will leave all the ingredients and instructions down below for you guys. Give this video a thumbs up if you would try this soup. Be sure to subscribe for more delicious recipes. And if you'd like another delicious soup recipe, go ahead, click here on screen, and I will see you guys there.